All right, so let's take a look here, and I'd like to start us off with a couple of posts I've made this week, but let's start with this first one here, because this is going to be important to report one. And the first one I've got here is about Mla citations, and I specifically want to point out to you a couple things about how Mla citations work. Now, you're going to be asked to create one, or at least try your hand at creating one with regards to your graphic novel for report one that goes at the very top before you do the summary analysis. In addition to that, anytime that you say include any information that you got from the graphic novel or any source, whether you're summarizing, which means that you're just basically regurgitating information that you found and you are asked to summarize in this report one, or whether you are directly quoting or paraphrasing, you should always include a citation to allow your audience to know that you got this information from somewhere else. Now, beneath here, I've got some general rules, and we basically treat a graphic novel the same way we would do this in the formation of a book. So you'll see here, I chose an adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey. And so if this is my template, and then you'll see beneath here, what I would start with is, I want to find my writer's last name, comma, first name, and artist's first name, last name. Now, that's real quickly. The reason I do this is I'm typically going to put my writer first. Sometimes it's one person, okay? Sometimes there is only one person. Say if I was doing Alison Bechdel's Fun Home, I wouldn't have a writer and artist. She's both. And so I would simply reverse her, put her last name first. So it would be Bechdel, comma, Allison. Now, if I have a writer and an artist, which most of you typically will, I simply only have to reverse the name for the first person, which is typically the writer. So say, for example, if I was doing All-Star Superman and I was doing Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, it'd be Morrison, comma, Grant, and Frank Quitely. All right. And the reason I do this is the only reason I have to reverse the name at all for that first one is it's for the purposes of alphabetical order. For example, All-Star Superman, because it's Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, and I'm going to reverse it so that Morrison appears first, it's going to go under M. All right. Once I've done that, in italics, I would put the name of the comic book, or in this case, the title of the graphic novel. Right. I would name my publisher, comma, year of publication. Now, that would then turn into, say, anytime I'm summarizing, paraphrasing, or quoting, anytime I'm citing it, I would probably go ahead and include the writer's last name and the artist's last name. So if I was doing the Grant Morrison one, it would be Morrison and Quitely. And that would be, in addition, that would be whether or not I have page numbers. So say if I was just simply summarizing something from the graphic novel, but if there were page numbers involved, it would be Morrison and Quitely space the page number. All right. Now, the example I chose here, like I said, I did an adaptation of The Odyssey. Okay. And so I have to include the original author. So here's Homer, the original author of The Odyssey, and Garth Hines. Now, he's the one who's the artist and the adapter. So he kind of gets to fill the spot of the artist. So it'd be Homer and Garth Hines, The Odyssey in italics, Candlewick P, which stands for Candlewick Press, comma, 2010. Anytime I summarize, quote, or paraphrase from it, I'm going to use Homer and Hines last names, and in case Homer, only name, to fill that in. All right, now hopefully that should help you guys a little bit as we get started into this sort of understanding of MLA, and I would like you to try your hands at this on and in report one. If it's not perfect, that will be one of the things that I give you notes about, saying, hey, next time or when you do this in your paper, try to work on this. All right,